The autumn air in the university campus was cool, crisp, the kind that made everyone feel both energized and alive. Students hurried between classes, their faces lit up with excitement, ambition, and the sheer vibrancy of university life. In the midst of this bustling scene, Arshad, a young man from a small village, stood quietly on the edge of the sidewalk, taking in the chaos around him. His heart raced as he clutched the edges of his notebook a little tighter, trying not to stand out. It was his first week at the university, and while the academic challenges didn't scare him, the social ones did. He had always been the quiet, shy guy back in his village. Coming from a family with humble means, he was accustomed to being underestimated. But here, amidst the confident, well-dressed students, Arshad felt like an outsider. As he moved through the crowd, his eyes met hers. Nazia. She stood in front of the cafe, chatting animatedly with her friends, laughing, her posture upright with an effortless elegance. Everything about her seemed perfect. From the latest fashion trends she wore to the way she spoke, Nazia appeared to be a natural leader in her circle. Her presence didn't just command attention, it demanded it. Arshad couldn't help but stare for a brief moment. He had seen her around before, always with her friends, always in the middle of some conversation that seemed to matter more than anything else. Nazia was everything he wasn't. Confident, poised, surrounded by a group of people who adored her. She had come from the city, from a world of privilege, something Arshad could only dream of. He couldn't help but wonder how someone like her would even notice someone like him. The first few days had been a blur. Arshad focused entirely on his studies, trying to get used to this new world he was now a part of. But then, one chilly afternoon, it happened. He was sitting alone under a large tree near the library, his textbook spread out in front of him. The world seemed distant, his mind completely absorbed in the pages. The sounds of students laughing and chatting seemed muffled, until, suddenly, someone sat down across from him. He looked up, startled. "Hey," she said, her voice soft, but assertive. "You look like you need company." Arshad blinked, unsure of what to say. It was Nazia. Nazia, who was always surrounded by people. Why was she sitting with him? Hi, he stammered, his voice betraying his nervousness. She smiled, a little amused by his reaction. "You're Arshad, right? From the village? I've seen you around?" Arshad nodded, feeling a lump form in his throat. His cheeks flushed red as he wondered if he was being made fun of. "Yeah, that's me." She leaned back, glancing at his textbooks. "You study a lot, huh?" "Trying to," Arshad replied, looking down at his notes. He wasn't sure where this conversation was headed, but the sudden attention from her made him uncomfortable. "I'm Nazia," she said, crossing her arms. "You know, I've been meaning to talk to you. You don't seem like the other village kids. You're different." Arshad didn't know how to respond to that. He was different, but in what way? It wasn't like he had a choice. His life had always been about doing what was necessary, working hard, getting good grades, and staying out of trouble. Here in the city, things were different. "I guess I just focus on my studies," Arshad said, looking at her now. "I'm just trying to fit in." Nazia smiled again, a small smirk. "Fit in? Who needs to fit in when you can stand out?" Her words made Arshad pause. For a moment, it felt like she was mocking him, but her eyes held something else. Curiosity. Maybe even a hint of respect. He couldn't quite figure it out. "You know," she said, her voice lowering slightly. "It's good to have something to focus on, but you shouldn't forget to have some fun, too." Arshad smiled shyly. "I don't know how to have fun." "Well, that's why I'm here," Nazia said with a playful grin. "I'll show you how it's done." They talked for hours that day, and it wasn't long before Arshad started to look forward to their small, spontaneous meetings between classes. Every conversation with Nazia felt like it opened a door to a world he never knew existed. She was funny, sarcastic, and completely different from anyone he had ever met back home. As the days passed, Arshad found himself slowly drawn to her, not just because of her beauty or confidence, but because of the way she made him feel. Like he was worth something. Like he mattered. She didn't judge him for being from a small village or for his awkwardness. She simply enjoyed his company, and that was enough for him. But as much as he tried to convince himself that this was just friendship, deep down, Arshad knew something more was brewing inside him. His feelings for Nazia were growing stronger by the day. Yet something about her remained elusive. There were times when she was sweet, kind, and understanding, but there were also moments when she seemed distant, as if she was hiding something. Still, Arshad pushed those doubts aside. She was the first person to really pay attention to him in this big, intimidating world. And so, in his quiet, unassuming way, Arshad began to fall in love with Nazia. He thought that maybe, just maybe, she felt the same. After all, why would someone like her spend time with someone like him if she didn't care? But little did he know, Nazia had her own reasons for reaching out to him. She wasn't just looking for a friend. No, she had a much different game in mind. A game that Arshad had no idea he was about to become a part of.